Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm taking a look at Trucks and Skulls. One major problem with this game that I should bring up, because I'm not going to record that segment again, but this game takes over 1.5 minutes to load. I'm not kidding, you will literally sit at a loading bar for over 1.5 minutes just watching this little bar go across the screen waiting for this game to load. It's ridiculous. The only game I can think of on the Vita that has such a long loading time is Surge Deluxe, and even then that wasn't, not Surge Deluxe, just Surge. And it wasn't even Surge's fault because it was a bug in the PlayStation Mobile runtime that caused that. This game takes 1.5 minutes to load for no good reason. On the Vita, that's unacceptable. Even Wipeout 2048 is less than half the time. You can get into Wipeout 2048 in half the time that it takes this game to load. So anyway, let's just have a look around real quick. You've got your typical audio sliders here. This game might actually be really quiet, but the sound is actually really loud and obnoxious. So, you know, I'm trying to keep it as quiet as possible. Anyway, you've got microtransactions, which are actually really kind of annoying. You've got all the prices here, but the thing is, in this game, there's no, like, in Angry Birds, which is the biggest competitor in comparison to this game that I can draw, you can go to pretty much any level set you like. You unlock every level in that set, like in a line, but you can go and play any set you like. So if you get stuck on one set, you can go play another set. Not so in this game, they actually charge you money for that. See, to get the Master Key, which unlocks everything, is 400 gold, but for every individual key, which unlocks a single set of levels, it's 100 gold. 150 gold costs you $2.79, so after paying the $4 they want you to pay for this at the very beginning, they want you to spend more money just to unlock the different levels in case you start having trouble on one set of them. That's annoying as shit. Also, you've got this stuff here. Like, you've got Nitro, which basically gives you extra... Yeah, look, 5 Turbo and the rest is called Nitro. Why is that a thing? But they want you to buy Nitro to give your trucks an extra boost, and then you've got all these other things over here which actually increase stats of the trucks to make the game easier, and they want you to pay money for them as well. It feels like a microtransaction pool. It feels like they want to suck you dry. After the $4 they want you to pay, then they want you to pay again for all this other stuff. It's so annoying and stupid. Oh, by the way, swag is nothing but just silly wallpapers. God, it's stupid. I mean, like, you can earn gold for free by playing the game, but it comes in really, really slowly. Like, that 36 gold there, I've played through nearly the first 2 worlds out of, like, 12, and that's the only amount that's come in. So if I wanted to unlock everything, I'd be grinding at it for a while. So let's actually go and play some levels, shall we? This is the part I start to dread. So if we just keep going here... The first level is actually the longest out of all of them, because it has all the tutorials. I'm just going to start on level 31. The game actually has to load again, which is really annoying, because it's like you load for 1.5 minutes. What else could you possibly have to load? Apparently a fair amount. So anyway, this game's like Angry Birds, except it's a bit more shit. And I fucked that up there, so let's just retry button. Let's hit the retry button. The idea is you pull back on this, and it actually gets really hard to aim because your aim gets really, really twitchy. You can actually adjust the speed that you go out in, just like in Angry Birds, but it is so hard to aim accurately with this thing. It's like, it's so annoying. Angry Birds did it so much better with the slingshot style. Like, even if you just, like, outright admitted you were copying the Angry Birds formula, which basically was copied from another game, but if you just outright admitted it and used a slingshot instead, that would have been like 10 times better than this system, because it's so twitchy and stupid, I can't even begin to describe it. So the main idea of the game is to destroy all these skulls, and these skulls are protected by various buildings of relatively bad construction, considering they have nothing attached to each other. And, well, is the game itself okay? Well, it's not that good. It really isn't that fun, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just... Some things just get really annoying. Like, they have indestructible blocks, which are really hard to work your way around at the best of times. They have it has really bad physics, which is like I managed to make the pause menu appear in a level failed screen. Okay, here's a little bit of a mechanic that actually pisses me off. Gold challenge. If you beat your high score on a level, or if you're playing a new level, if you get 4 cogs on it, which are the stars in Angry Birds, you'll get free gold. Unfortunately, they'll probably do it on levels where you will not be able to do it because the game's a bitch sometimes. Well, I actually managed to beat my high score there. How the hell did I do that? I don't know. So yeah, these there are different types of trucks. So yeah, I've just earned myself some gold. That was actually a lot of gold. You usually don't get that much in one level. There are different types of trucks, like I believe we can see 2 here. You can also zoom in and out, like all sorts of things. Alright, we can see a few different trucks here. We've got, if you see in the top left there, it's actually like the queue of trucks. So that's this one that splits into 3 pieces. That one there on the very left is just a normal truck, and you can speed it up by tapping. And the one that's out of frame is an explosive truck, which is basically a time bomb that you can also set off at any time you like. So let's just send this over the black wall of impenetrable death and fire. That almost went perfectly. It still remains really hard to aim with this, because the thing about Angry Birds is that it was actually really nice how it handled the slingshot, because you could always tell where you needed to shoot without having to actually make any real wild guesses about it. And in this game, you just can't do that. It just doesn't happen. It's too hard to determine where you need to aim to actually, like, shoot off where you want to shoot. And that annoys the shit out of me. And sometimes, and the thing is, in Angry Birds, the consistency of every single bird is like what made that game so good, because you could tell what was going to happen at any one time, and the only bit that seemed to be random or luck-based was the way the buildings fell over, which is still a fault of Angry Birds, I might add, but just to have that is kind of a godsend. Meanwhile, in this game, everything feels kind of stupid, because depending on the angle that you launch your bastards at, sometimes the effects of everything can go completely differently to what you're expecting, and it's annoying as shit. Then again, maybe I just suck, who knows. But I really don't like... Oh yeah. Silver Skulls. Can't be destroyed very easily. So you actually have to put more effort into killing them. Like, this annoys the crap out of me. It's like you'd expect this to be a little bit consistent, but it actually shoots off depending on the angle the truck is at, and the smallest things can actually affect when when it launches, like what happens when it launches. It can be so annoying and random at times. No, I don't like it at all. Not to mention the game has some glaring performance issues on later levels. I'll see if I can make it show up on some of these later levels. Like, if I zoom in here, will it do it? No. And also, for some reason, you can't scroll upwards. You can only scroll to the left and right and zoom in and out. Why is that a thing? So these Silver Skulls can get really frustrating for this reason. Because they take so much damage that you have no idea what you need to do to kill them sometimes. It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to pull this off. Because this game doesn't have the same room for error. I mean, like, your ability to... Oh, wait. Was that the one I was just playing? Yeah, it was. My bad. This game... The physics on it are really weird. They feel like they're more out to jerk you over than Angry Birds is. Yeah, the Divosaurus. Why do they call it Divosaurus? I don't know. But basically, this is the Divosaurus training level. But, the physics feel like they're out to dick you over, because everything feels like it has just a too large collision mask, which is basically what the game uses to determine what's being what's being touched and what isn't. Everything feels just slightly too big, which is kind of annoying because sometimes it feels like that you really should go down into a tiny little gap, and you just don't. Like, see, this level here is a perfect example. Let's see if I can pull this off with one shot. I probably can't. Levels like this get really annoying because being precise with these missiles is stupid difficult. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead to one of the levels I was playing later, because this is basically just tutorial levels from here on in. If I go back, I should be able to go to the warp zone, and I'll start from Face It. So yeah, basically, I don't like this game at all, to be honest. It tries to be a clone of Angry Birds, but instead of actually improving on Angry Birds in some legitimate way, other than some somewhat interesting mechanics, like the lava that destroys everything, it just feels like it's out to dick you out of either more money or your time, because the game just doesn't play as well as you wish it would. It's a shame. I was actually looking forward to being able to say, I would like to be able to say to people, go buy this, it's better than Angry Birds Trilogy, but it actually isn't. It's actually relatively unenjoyable. And that's a shame, because it's an alright idea. A little bit of tood on the Angry Birds, almost as a sort of ironic joke. Is that a correct use for irony? I don't think it is, actually, but it's not that fun. It really isn't. It's hard to aim. Mechanics feel like they're out to screw you over more than normal Angry Birds, and it feels like it's trying to suck more money out of you via microtransactions when they already charge you $4 for the game anyway. It's just so... I can't even play it anymore, I'm sorry. I already tried to record this once, and 12 minutes gone, and I was bloody miserable because the audio was so goddamn loud and obnoxious. Well, this has been Blue Maxima. Do not play Trucks and Skulls. Do not buy it. Maybe if they put it free to play and make the gold come in like twice the speed it already does. I doubt that's going to happen. Okay, this has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.